Hey comic book fans, today we are talking about Godhood Comics The Antagonists issue 2. Now, this takes place 20 years from present day. This is a story about a family known as the Evils, spelled with an A, and they are pretty much was a family of villainy. Now, this is a backstory particularly on the parents back in their pretty much prime, and Destructus is the husband and Ultima is the wife, and this story is her telling like how they was moving back then. And honestly, as you read, you realize that these two are complete psychopaths, and even back then how evil they were, they was nowhere near even like just a regular set of villains. These two was a global level threat when it came to the craft of being a villain, and they was killing off soldiers, and their main mission was to get to the president, and the American soldiers were dying off trying to hold them back. The unfortunate part about that was Ultima and Destructus, both of them was just overpowering everybody, specifically Ultima, because she was more of the strength of the two. He was more of the brains and the planner, and his power is reading minds. So that's the position he played and the position she played. And even though that the president was locked in a bunker, she just went down and ripped him out, and they took him to the sky. And how he gets the launch codes out of the president is insane, because he doesn't even physically have to tell him. He just mentioned it and it popped into the president's brain, and he was able to get the launch codes that way. And after they had that, after he pretty much got what he wanted, they dropped the president, right? Just dropped him to his death. And in their mind, they're villains, and in their mind, they're doing this for a moral cause. And those are the most dangerous villains, in my opinion. Those that don't think they're actually doing wrong, they think that they're doing this for the greater good. And another hero comes in and saves the president, and he is known as the American, and he's an actual archetype of what a superhero is, right? Obviously inspired mostly by Superman, but you can probably pull with Captain America in there as well. And him and Destructus very much knew each other, because it turns out Destructus was probably a hero at first, and something in his life happened that made him go towards the villain side, along with Ultima, which would be his wife. And as they're having this back and forth conversation, the American, he's not even, I would say, being overly aggressive. He's being neutral about this. He was even willing to hear out the other side, even though they was killing off people and they was being destructive. He was still willing to open up his ears and see, okay, maybe we can come to some sort of an agreement to all of this. Let's see, can something positive come out of this negative? And that's a very, I would say, awesome thing to see from a hero. But before a conversation can actually be sparked, Ultima goes in for the attack, and she is not just a villain, she is violent, she's emotionally driven. You can she's just a problem overall. And she goes in, and there's not a massive villain team against a hero team. It is just the two of them versus an entire hero team, and her not thinking, she's just going in fighting everybody. But credit to her, she has the power and ability to actually do it. But you can tell that she's I would say, the problem out of everybody else in this story. And even when Destructus and the American are fighting, even though they are opposite sides of what is going on, they have a mutual respect for each other. And you can tell just by how they carry themselves as they fight each other, and it is even explained as the story goes on, and they fight and end up back in the White House. And they both pretty much explain what they actually could do to each other, like with their powers. Like they both have an understanding that this fight could go a lot more brutal than it actually is going. This fight is just a physical representation of their disagreement with each other. But with Destructus, he wants to take the nuclear launch codes and start blowing up places. And it's like, I don't understand how he thinks that this is supposed to do something positive in the long run, because we all know who gets rich if a war breaks out, and it's not going to be him and it's not going to be Ultima. But he ends up launching one of the codes, and the American leaves him to go stop the incoming missile. And so the fight is pretty much over at that point at a standstill, and they leave. Destructus and Ultima leaves, and this was the most insane and sad part of the comic for me. The American sacrifices himself to stop the missile before it can actually make contact, saving not just the president but the heroes involved and everybody else in that radius, because that could have taken out a large chunk of the United States. And his last words is "God bless America" before he ends up dying. And you see these two, and as I was reading this, I was holding my head. I'm like, these people are evil. Like, there's no way, there is no comeback for these people. What they did, and they end up killing heroes, they end up killing regular people. And like, even if you can understand their side, and even if you understand their argument, how they went about it was brutal. But even after that, they ended up just slaughtering other people in the process after they knew they did not have to worry about the American. And especially with Ultima, she displayed not just villainy, but like clear-cut racism in this story as well. So this part of the story for me does not make any sense for why she was being nice or being gentle with this little girl. And this is the story of before the present day. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.